this one for our topic of discussion, which is
Melanated. Fuck.
this is what happens
The
when Twitch
melanated
has
world
a
of anime, Black Girl Edition. Oh
Black
Lord,
Girl
that's what you get for
Edition.
making these long ass titles.
I accept full responsibility for that. That was all me. I was feeling myself this week because I was on top of my sheet IT,
You
and
were.
I
I
said,
literally couldn't
"Ooh."
even post because you were like, I got it.
And in the spirit of Black History Month, dear viewers, we are going to delve into the realm of anime and cherry pick all the few and far between melanated Black queens that we find in all the anime that we may or may not know, and then someone that we do know and that we love. And we're just gonna have fun with it.
You know what I saw missing from your list?
What's not on my
Sailor
list?
Pluto, bitch. I know you don't accept her. Accept Sailor Pluto. She's all I
We
had in
have a
back in the
section,
day.
and I thought I wrote it on there for some honorable mentions.
Let me
Check
see.
questionable skin color, but I didn't think I put it there
No, you
because
didn't.
that
So rude.
girl,
How dare
she
you?
might have spent a little time in Malibu tanning booth,
How
but
dare you?
I don't think she's the Black girl. I don't think
I
she's
love
the
how
Black girls and women of anime. We're gonna pop this thing off. As far as we acknowledge the fact that it is very few and far between, so it's like, hey, Onyx and Geeky, how'd y'all manage to get a show out of that? Because we may be few and far between, but we're there a little bit.
yeah.
So here's the first open discussion here about the fact that we as Black people and our enjoyment of anime and it being able to be more expressed over the years, why we are continuously seeking representation in the land of the rising sun. We are dealing with a island what is predominantly homogenous. For those of you who don't understand, well, don't know what the word homogenous is basically people who keep to themselves, procreate with themselves. They pretty much are contained. Very rarely intermingle or procreate outside of their race. So the predominantly Japanese descent, you don't get a lot
Right.
of outside or interracial or biracial children. You do have some. Again, those are outliers, not the
And
norm.
honestly,
Okay.
it only happened when we ended up starting to put bases there that there was a
Correct.
mingle and
And
commingle.
right
So
now,
this was after
again,
World War II.
right. And again, like of course, more and more of people broadening outside of their horizons, you're going to get a lot more, um, but of intermingling. But as far as it, statistically, largely, you do have a homogenous society. So here's our first thing of discussion. I know you're gonna be googling some things
Yes.
about how we were portrayed when we did show up in anime. And the first example that I was able to see in my research, which is an anime I've never heard of called Robotech, with a character by the name of Claudia Grant. This is 1985. Um, and I want to take a look at her because what I see in the earlier iterations of not necessarily saying that we were being included, but the few times we were being included, what I like about the art style is as we go through the different characters that we do pull up with the Black women
Here we go.
there, her character. Yeah, if y'all can see the screen there, viewers, this was Claudia Grant from 1985's anime series called Robotech. And what I find interesting is there's very little distinction of her features as far as what we call Afrocentric features, aside from the Afro and maybe a little bit of full of lips, but it's still
Yeah.
quite Eurocentric to me. I like what you pointed out earlier. I like the hot pink lip there.
Frosted.
Now here's my thing though. I don't know. I hope that's her lipstick and not just being, because I don't see a lot
Well,
of
this is
what you
like the
keep
lipstick though, like the actual like poster
lipstick.
updated.
Yeah. Now from my
And
understanding, I
then
heard that she had like a role in this anime. Like she had a status. Like she commanded
right. I
a
kind of
group,
want to
some troops and
know.
stuff like that. I thought she was pretty cool. I would like to actually see her in
Yeah, I
action.
kind of want to see this now that this has been brought. I know nothing of this. Um,
Me neither.
didn't know she
Uh,
existed. This you said this came out in the 80s, right?
this is, yeah,
This is
1985,
80s,
called
mid
Robotech.
80s.
Which I thought that was actually really really cool to see a character
I
or us portrayed. Well, definitely were not a lot of us was watching
right.
anime at the
I
time.
appreciate the fact that she doesn't have like these are the things that kill me is like when they give us the overbearing afros or braids, which thank you,
Yes.
but this is a nice, clean cut mini fro ish type
Right.
deal, almost saying that this could be very well be their depiction of just curls at the time.
Right. I what I appreciated about it is she doesn't have the offensive looking
Dragon Ball Z.
stereotypical.
That's a
Yeah,
great
well,
example, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna
right.
look it
Like
up.
she doesn't look like Mr. Popo. The original Mr. Popo, not the politically correct Mr. Popo. Well, we know Mr. Popo is not, I mean, he's black, but you know, that's a different kind of black. Like he's straight up black. We're not talking about labeled black, like, oh, we decided that we're just gonna put you
Even
here.
their fighters, though, from Killa from the original Dragon Ball franchise, is a
Right,
little
now that's a
offensive.
great example. Do you see how he's drawn? And I'm not saying like his physique per se, but look at his facial features. That's when you have like the pink lips, you
Look at
got the
this man's
Caesar cut.
fade. They gave him
Right,
a
that's what I'm
full
saying.
fade.
Right, and you got that, and you got the thick lips, and instead of portraying the thick lips in, because I know a lot of black people, oh, like you got the pink inside, or you got the big lips, you got the big nose. I appreciate the fact that Claudia had softer features, not really offensively stereotypical. And I'm not knocking Akira Toriyama for that depiction or whatever they got
I mean,
going on
Dragon
there.
Ball is set in the 1980s too, though. You got
Yeah, it is. And you have to look at that about the person who decided to draw Claudia the way they drew Claudia, as opposed to this character here, where you have, like you said, you got the stereotypical black features. And granted, I'm good in black. There's nothing wrong with my big lips, my big, well, I don't have a really big nose. My sister would tell you that. But I like my nose. I like my Afrocentric features. But that seemed to be the norm. You know what I mean?
right.
When depicting black characters in anime, it's like, oh, when we do have the black, and then it always got the, what do you call that? The vernacular there.
Yeah.
You know,
this is also
black,
from
so,
Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z.
Okay.
Like, from one of the service people.
Exactly. So again, if y'all see that, you see the depiction of how we were portrayed, like, oh, this was the commonality of what we look like. So when we're talking in regards to the black girl, Claudia Grant, with the black woman in the position of power, you have softer features, albeit maybe a little Eurocentric with that. Now here's my that was a thin. So again, when we're pulling up Dragon Ball Z and you see those, here's my comparison. What I use as a good comparison is 2019's Carol from Carol and Tuesday.
I also want to throw out that I just forgot what I was about to fucking throw out.
The words of my mother, if it's important, they'll come back. Yeah. I promise you, you'll think about it. But in comparison to Claudia, we'll do Carol from Carol and Tuesday, which is an anime which is steeped richly in music. One of the best.
Y'all watch this shit, please.
Please.
You
hands down one of the best animated soundtracks. Woo-hoo!
They gave this bitch style too.
But that's what I like. And look at her. She is. You can look at her, not just her skin tone. First of all, hand clap for showing different shades of black. Her skin tone isn't that one staple. Oh, if I'm gonna put a black person in here, boom. But I love her features, and they are so complimentary to depicting what she is or who she represents. I like, not saying I don't like Carol, because I actually do like her softer
Oh,
features
hair
compared
down,
to her
Carol.
counterparts.
Hair down, Carol.
Yes, I love her locks. I'm not being biased, but I do like them. Like, I love it. I love Carol, and she has a beautiful voice. I love the if y'all never watched it, I like when she uh in a roundabout way met her dad, and I thought that was very touching. Um, but yeah, I looking at her features, looking at how she's portrayed, so many years after Claudia and so many other black characters, or as particularly black women. I love her youthfulness. I love her look. I love that they embraced other hair textures and styles. Not just the, hey, loose natural, or the small afro they got
Or
going
big
on,
afro, which
or
we'll
the big
see in Michiko and
afro.
Hachin.
We will. Just Carol, really, when I watched that anime and enjoyed that anime, I personally, I super enjoyed watching a woman that looked very close to me, um, with talent. And she didn't, they didn't put her in a box. She was a main character.
Mm-hmm.
Not just delegated to the background, not just whatever, that she was the main character right along with Tuesday. Her name's in the title, and she's got just as much as airtime as Tuesday does. And I really appreciate the art style. I really appreciated her look. I really appreciated her style. Again, I feel like Claudia walked so Carol can run. It showed that even in a place where we are not the norm, in a country that, you don't have to represent us. That's how I look at it.
Right.
You don't have to represent us. We're not the, what you call, the average face that you have in your country.
Right.
But acknowledging your audience, wanting to tell a broader story, wanting to, broaden your characters, or with diverse characters outside of the normal characters you have, and not just tell the stories with diverse characters, but get out of the black exploitation
Mm-hmm.
look into a character that is well-rounded, young, up and coming, talented. Hands down, one of my favorite characters, of color, that came out in the last couple of years. I love it.
I do too. I absolutely. That whole, y'all watch Carol and Tuesday, because at the end of the day, just the diversity of this show is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you
Yeah.
literally have a whole French girl in here singing a French song. You've got Latina exes. You've got all kind of people in there. It's a beautiful show to watch, and also the range of voices. I will say the Beyonce doppelganger in there is lit.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
soundtrack
she
is in English and in Japanese on Spotify. I don't know if y'all know that.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
And I'm going to go look it up, because again,
And the
hands
Erica
down, one of the
Badu
best.
doppelganger.
Ooh,
What is her name again? I
yes.
need y'all to
I
see
don't
this
know,
mystical,
but yeah,
beautiful woman.
if y'all have never treated yourselves to Carol and Tuesday, do yourself a favor. Put it on your list.
Put
Put it
it
on your list.
on your list. I'm trying to find that girl.
And just like Onyx said, the diversity in that cast, hands down. Even the other girl they were going against, what's her name? Not April.
Oh God, I know what you're talking about. She
But she was a character. Yeah, she was a person
Latina.
of color too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just, whoever, and I need to get, and forgive me for not doing my complete research on Carol and Tuesday, because we're not talking about Carol and Tuesday, but just the characters on Carol and Tuesday. I hands down give it to the creator, to production team, the animators. They did a fantastic job with representing the characters, and giving us a diverse cast. Hands down, one of the best in a long time to do it, in my eyes, my humble opinion. the best in a myriad of years. Love the
Wait a minute.
animation. Love the characters.
Wait a minute.
What happened?
The creator of Carol and Tuesday is Shinichiro Watanabe, as in Cowboy Bebop. It's yes. That's why it's amazing.
That's why I'm about to say. That's why. Which I'm glad you brought that up, because we do actually have some characters
that is
on
lit.
the list.
I didn't realize
at least one character from Cowboy Bebop on the list.
Well, there's a few, but we're talking mostly about women. But like,
right?
I did not.
Well, yeah.
No. Now I'm like losing Shinichiro Watanabe.
I love it.
Oh my god!
Thanks for looking that up. That was actually really good.
That's why I was like, wait a minute.
Now, here's our. Are you still looking for the song? Are you looking for
what
it?
am I looking? Oh, the characters.
Are you doing that? Okay. Are you?
I'm gonna tell y'all this. The Carol and Tuesday, just a shot, had some doppelganger type. I totally just lost our Zoom. That's all right. I have a great background.
Okay.
Carol and Tuesday this is their main cast. You had Crystal and Skip, which I personally felt when watching it was literally Beyonce and fucking Jay-Z. But Jay-Z don't sing like Skip. Skip can sing.
Skip can sing.
But it was
I also like the
lovely.
other kid that was in there, the young black cat
that
was in there that was rapping. They don't have her in there. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Angela. Angela, I felt like was a character of color. There she is next to Tuesday. I like Angela too. Angela had a really nice voice. But yeah, no, I like the diversity of they don't have nearly all the cast there, but yeah, that cast is really nice.
And they even have like her discography. That's amazing.
I props to the singers, man.
Bruh, they did the damn thing. Like
I'm about to say, they brought that.
I have got to figure out who the Erykah Badu doppelganger is.
Right.
I will lose my mind if I don't.
Right, like I need to know. I have to know.
Because I have her songs on my Spotify. I literally like downloaded it and everything.
I'm gonna look up that entire. I hope they have the soundtrack.
It is. It's there.
I want the soundtrack, and I want to put that there.
Characters, please, because if I don't figure it out, I'ma shoot.
But if y'all want to, like, hands down, and we do have a couple of them on the list, but if you want to be like, wow, this is a great anime about the music industry, about breaking into the music industry, a little bit of politics, when it comes to Earth and Martians, and hands down, a really, really sweet friendship about two young women going into the music industry. Do yourself a favor, please, if you want to see good diversity and be like, I'm tired of seeing the same old. Carol and Tuesday need to be on your list.
Just so y'all know, I'm adding this too. The singers for Carol and Tuesday are these two ladies right here.
You need to see that.
Yes.
That's
Beautiful.
everything. Get that in y'all skin. And I apologize, whoever ears I blew away. Get that in your skin. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Get that all in your body cavity. Put it in your brain. Give yourself a new wrinkle.
Yeah, give yourself a new wrinkle.
Give yourself a new brain wrinkle.
It's so nice to just, I know it sounds so stupid, but it's also just like, this is just nice. Thank you.
It's nice.
I needed to know that this was okay.
And we do. And that's what I'm saying. Even at my age, when I see that, it's like, man, I feel seen. I feel like we have evolved. Now here's the other segue I'm about to go into. Now, so what we listen to this is Black girls in anime, just stereotypes or characters with meaning. Are we just the props, the stereotypical props, or the what did Spike Lee coin it as? Are we the magical Negro in the back?
Yeah.
Or do we bring something to the table? Like, for example, Claudia Grant, who held a title of position and a commanding title, or are we just the again the stereotypical? Hey, I need a 70s type of black character back there, so let me throw on a bad body, a big ass afro, and some shades, and here we go. Or are we actually evolving, or we're getting to the point where we actually have meaning
Right.
in our characters, or the characters when we see ourselves? What are we seeing when we see ourselves on screen, particularly black females in anime? So
Oh, who is it? Yurichi from Bleach is first?
we did Yurichi from Yuroichi, one of my first
Yuroichi
cosplays.
Shihon.
Yeah, from Bleach. I think this is good debate, because I don't think anybody can argue that Yurichi was somebody's stereotypical black character.
I feel like there was some, don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, like some stereotypical type deals.
Okay.
Like, you know, they used, well, it's shown in, at the end of the day, the bath scene and stuff like that.
That's true. Well, here's my question then. What did they do anything different to her than they would do with any woman in shonen?
True. You're absolutely right. I guess that is just a thing that I'm gonna have to get over. I'm tired. I'm just tired of the
sexualization of black women's bodies.
The sexualization of women in general in anime.
That's true.
It's getting tiring.
It is.
I'm really tired
with
of
Yurichi, though.
I feel like they gave her a lovely. Her storyline is good. You have an outcast character who was turned away, or not turned away. She didn't like the system, so she left.
Correct, because she was somebody of
high power,
high rank, and revered. So it's not like she was just anybody of high rank. She was highly revered.
She was feared, and that's important.
For somebody who would make a move and make it beautiful with butterflies on your chest, and you knew that was the end if you got hit 3 times with that. Come on, man. Then she was like, wasn't she the only one that can turn into an animal?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what it's called. She's the only one that can transform.
Right. Like, in my opinion, looking at someone like Yurichi, who looks the way that she does, fierce, black woman, black cat, you know.
The mere fact that she didn't even appear her true form until, like, they were neck deep into the Gosei. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, after they went to, in that first season when they went to go help Rukia, when Ichigo really had to learn.
Deep in there before she was like, oh, by the way, I'm a boss ass bitch. Right.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, I'm to be respected, and I am respected, and my subordinates respect me, even though I got issue with the system. You know, again, always fighting the power. You get it, Black Queen. I'm for that. But yeah, no, hands down, one of my favorite characters. Again, I think in the early days of me cosplaying and having the mentality of how many black characters are there, as opposed to me saying I can cosplay whoever the hell I want to cosplay. She was one of my favorite picks because again, she was as badass as she was, and I felt like I could pull it off, and I did. Going into one of the most terrifying characters I've ever experienced in my life is Sister Crone, or Sister Crone.
I really want to talk about
from the
this
Promised Neverland,
because
that lady horrifies me to no end. Do I see her as stereotypical or a character with meaning? Both.
I want to talk about this for a second, you guys.
Yeah.
A lot of newer age anime that black women are in, they've given us somewhat, not necessarily diversity, but either we're like a sidekick or we're like a boss ass bitch, right?
Right.
This bitch is scary.
Yeah.
And it's almost like an actor who's played, you've seen them in the same role. It's like Jim Carrey doing comedy, and then they've given him something serious, and you're like, holy shit, he's actually kind of good at this. So watching a black woman be something other than the boss ass bitch or the sidekick is beautiful to me, because they mostly these days, if you've been watching certain things like Raising Dion and stuff like that,
right.
we're starting to get more sci-fi and fantastical roles.
To add to that, though, I'm glad you brought that up, Onyx. To add to that, think more like Jordan Peele's horror movies. We're not just, like you said, either the badass bitch or the side character. Now we're in roles that other people were able to play and just be those roles.
Right.
So like, oh, like Get Out or Us, or even, dare I say, like Candyman, that kind of stuff like that. That's where you put that heifer.
Right. And we're not like the first one to die, like in Scream or in House of Wax or anything like that.
Right.
What we're talking about so scary about her in Promise Neverland in general is her role. She understood that if she wasn't a certain way, she was gonna die. So she gave 2 fucks about these kids, yo.
Right. Because it was either at that point, is them or me.
She's like the epitome of self-preservation. And she failed. She failed.
She failed. But she did make it to adulthood, which is better than what some of them can say. Just to give you a little bit of a premise of the Promised Neverland, not to spoil it, but it's hard to talk about it without spoiling. But basically, think a farm for children. And I don't mean like, oh, what you mean like a farm?
Like goats.
Would you? No, we're not talking no petting zoo. Like, I mean, like when you raising animals for food farm. And Sister Crone, which I liked her character.
Yes.
In it, because when they were in the education system, quotation marks, that they were going through, they were all presented with a choice. And it was become a mother and raise children for the farm, or, hey, become a cheeseburger.
Delicious.
Which one would you like?
And that's what makes her.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what makes her role scary, because, and also unique, because I still have not seen a very good female black villain, because that's what she is.
Yeah. At least to the children. Right. What freaked me out so bad about her when I watched it, and like,
spoiler. Delicious children.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Spider. Yeah, spoiler alert. When I said they were a cheeseburger, I meant that. I wasn't not saying.
More educated, and what was the third one? Quick-witted. You were the most delicious child. Yes. Cannibals.
Yeah. But no, because see, the things that were eating them were not people.
They were monsters. Watch the first season,
now, and if you can try to read it, yes, because that's what I did.
Olivia's, I think book 12 is where.
Did she get all the way to learning the truth?
She's getting
the truth that was between. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, if you can try to read it, Spider, please, because they kind of botched up season 2.
Season 2. Watch the first season and then start at book 12 and read on.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, no, what scared me about this heifer was that's why I put that in the notice, that fucking baby doll.
And I don't like dolls.
She kept referencing, and that's what, because I saw the mind every time she looked in the screen with those eyes, and you throw it back up if you want. It was the whole demented of, I've accepted the insanity of where I am, and I'm just gonna fall into it. And y'all, when y'all see her run behind these children, you thought the regular mother was scared. When Sister Crone got there,
run.
It was almost like that Terminator run. It was, and she was coming, and it was like, this lady. And then when you got her, and then she kept doing with the baby doll, my baby doll, my baby. I'm like, whoo, the horror in this is hands down. Now, the reason why I say she's both on the stereotypical, because her features are a little overblown. But again, I'm not going to say that you can't find a black person that don't look like that.
No, they're absolutely right. How do I put this?
I'm not going to take that away.
It's not a mammy thing. If that's what some people do think, it's not.
Yeah.
It is literally, I could sit here and tell you, like, look like a grandma. Honestly, like an aging grandma. Like,
she looks like she got like Nubian knots in her hair. But her features are a little overblown, but I give that to them because she's scary as fuck. Like that lady is scary. And it plays into the when you see her eyes and she's doing that whole thing, like she unsettles the fuck out of you. Like if what was that? The first lady, was it Elizabeth? I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think
might be
so.
Elizabeth, but she unsettles you. But when then Sister Crone gets called in for backup, she unsettles the fuck out of you. Like she makes you so fucking uneasy. And I love that we can be something other than like what me and Onyx said, not just the, oh, you know, you're the cool black lady
Yeah,
with the
you.
shades and you jive turkeys. No, this bitch was scary and she looked scary. And she kept talking about that fucking baby doll, and she would chase you down like a T-9000. Like she was scary.
I will say this:
I
if
loved
y'all
it.
haven't watched the live action Promised Neverland and their version of Sister Crone,
Oh no, I haven't seen the live
oh, let me
action
see if I can
version.
pull this
This
up
is
real
new to
quick.
me. I want to know. I want to
Let
see
me
who
see.
they got to be
So
scary as
yeah,
hell.
like if you haven't watched Promised Neverland, watch Promised Neverland. Do not
Yep,
be
do yourselves
offended
a
by
favor.
Sister Crone. She did her part.
No, I think you shouldn't be offended because one, we got the diversity. Two, she plays that role. She plays the hell out of it.
Right. And it's nice
Don't go
to
in and was
not
like, oh,
see us not
right.
necessarily stereotypical, but in the same two places where we're always, even in American um, media outlets, we are always either the badass bitch or we're that funny
Rose from
friend.
Bleach was apparently a prominent character. I don't know if she was a part of the Go Tie
No,
as far
she
as
was part
the
of the not Onkar, what are they called? From Heko Mundo?
is that where she
Not
was?
an
Is it from Waco
Onkar.
Mundo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I
I
watched
don't
that art. Do I
fuck.
not remember? But this fly ass
Don't get me wrong. She
badass
looked
right
fly
here.
as fuck.
Yes, she does. I like her,
Oops.
but I didn't know anything about her.
I don't know
I'm
nothing
not even
about her
gonna lie.
either.
I'm here because when I was doing research for our podcast, when we were digging and doing research and pulling resources, because again we're few and far between. Was that the voice actor or something?
I don't think so.
Okay, but here's Mila for those of you who are familiar with her. Those of you who are not familiar with her, she's from Bleach.
I think in
Um,
general, if we at the very least talk about her character design is nice.
Yes, that's hands down. Now I always mispronounce his name. I always say Tight Kubo, but the
Kubo.
creator of Bleach,
Kubo.
I think like a lot of people said the characters in the beginning was kind of ugly.
Yes.
Now art style did improve over the years, and of course it reflects now that distinctive style in the animation. You can see it in Tosin, you can see it in Mila
I
here,
was
you can
gonna
see it
say
in
Chad and
Yoruichi.
Bleach too.
Right. So yeah, who was Mexican, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
he
Chad
was
was
seen
Mexican.
as Yastora. I think that's Mexican.
Right. So I like the way he designed his character. Now, granted, here's the only knock that I would give to that. All of his characters damn near look the same. There
Mostly
isn't
the women.
any, yeah, there isn't any change up in the women. You're gonna have that same face, you're gonna have that same lip, those same eye
Like
shape
let
on
me let me
it's
do
not
this for you.
Orihime. That's about the only distinction you
Hold
have
on, I got you. Watch
with
this shit.
gotcha. All right, hit me with it.
Watch this shit. So you're gonna sit here and tell me that that's not the same look?
Exactly.
These are two
Exactly.
characters from Bleach in the same arc.
And the only reason why Nell is sort of slightly different is her eyes are slightly bigger because they betray that innocence. But
Right.
other than that, yeah, they're the same damn
No,
character.
the mouth is the same.
And I think that's
Everything's the
the
same.
only, yeah, everything is the same. That's the only thing that I always noticed in his art style, or their art style with Bleach. All the characters look the same.
Yeah.
The only difference you get is usually like the bigger the eyes, usually that doughy eye look, is the innocence, the youth, and the smaller the eye, like what you see with Mila Rose
Espada, not
there.
Ankar. They're Espada
Yeah,
from
that's
Hekamoon.
about it. Yeah, you get the older, mature woman, that kind of eye, that kind of thing like that. What guy with the arm there, Spider? What's up?
Hmm?
Are we talking about Bleach? Is that still
Is that
Bleach?
Bleach? I think so. What guy with the arm? Why do I keep clicking out of us? I
Oh, is
swear to
that
God.
Chad? Is that
Oh yeah,
Chad? Because then he
Chad.
had the thing with his arm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
has
yeah, yeah,
literally
yeah,
like he's One Punch Man before One Punch Man.
yeah. Yeah, right. So yeah, no, that's my only thing about Bleach. Like you can do a what you call like in video games, you can do a palette swap with any of those characters. Any of
You
those
really
characters
can.
can be black. It's not like their facial features
Don't
are any
change.
different. So yeah, you literally do a
Even if we
palette swap
talk
on those
about like
things.
Orihime and Rukia.
Right.
Hold on.
The only difference with Rukia is Rukia got that youthful innocent with the big eyes.
Well, I also feel that they
Um,
did the same with Orihime. That's why I'm making the comparison.
right, because you got that trick in anime. Like you give the youth the bigger eyes, the big doe eyes, the big pretty eye, because that's supposed to portray youthfulness.
I'm pulling up a side
The
by
older
side.
mature characters have like the smaller eyes, the smaller pupils, that type of deal. There.
Pulling up a side by
But
side.
again, they look there like the lips still the same, the face structure is still the same. The if you're a mature woman or you're or a he-man, you got the big bazungas,
There's
the
always the
tiny
smarter
waist.
one has always got tiny titties. So
Yeah, it's because you can't have smart and have big titties at the same time, ladies. You got to pick a struggle, okay? You either want to have a big rack or a big brain. You can't have both, okay? Another
so
one almost like Carolyn Tuesday, where you have some Afro Latinas, you have they in Brazil,
look at this
you have a
bitch. Look
diverse
at how beautiful
cast.
she is.
Yes, come through, blonde Afro. You got this lady. Look at this woman. She's on the police force. I think she's a detective or police officer.
Yeah, she's from the police force.
But that is Asuko Jackson. Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Bruh.
I love it. Look at this woman. This woman grew up in the same orphanage with Michiko.
The main character.
Yeah, and we'll get to Michiko in a minute, but just behold that right there. Look at this. Look at this woman. Look at this Afro Latina. Look at this Brazilian goddess. There is Michiko, who is a fucking stunner. Man,
and she got outfits for days, okay?
Child, if this
Michiko
lady's
got
titties and
outfits
ass
for
and
days.
tummy ain't always hanging out when I was watching it this week.
Wait till I become a badass bitch. You got Atsuko,
Child.
I got Michiko. We going to a con.
Goals.
Goals.
Let me find me a fly ass Afro.
Hit the
golden
Afro
Afro like
with the
that.
golden lipstick.
Get me a tapered suit. Y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You can keep your comments.
Nothing.
But I like this because again, the entire show had great diversity.
Yes.
But those characters right there, I love the fact that they were not scared to make them beautiful and pretty. I feel like that's a thing that oftentimes we don't get.
Right.
Because, you know, like statistically, they always tell us that nobody really finds Black women attractive. We're always at the bottom of the totem pole as far as attractiveness goes. But what I like now is there's a shift in the narrative with Black women per se. Like, take from me, you know, me and you in positions, we look totally different.
Right.
Both Black women. But what I like about it is the movement that Black women have, like, no longer are anybody going to set the standard of what I'm supposed to look like or set the standard of my attractiveness to anybody as far as my self-esteem goes. I like seeing those two characters there because it's like the people who drew them weren't even afraid to show the diverseness, their badassness, even in different lights, because Michiko's a fucking criminal. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this girl literally...
that bitch is a criminal.
Y'all, if anything, watch the first episode, because Michiko literally rolls up on a motorbike in someone's house.
She does, but she coming to collect.
And
right.
And she literally looks at the people who own the house and is like, who the fuck is you? And like, that's so disrespectful and great. Because
I love it. She came in like an asshole.
We're going to get there.
She broke out of jail like an asshole.
Like a straight asshole.
And I loved it. Again, one of the raw animes that I've ever watched, because when I say they punching bitches full out in the face, whew, they punching bitches full out in the face. So go in and be like, damn, like they hit her like a dude on the street. Hell yeah, it's raw.
They talking about some crazy shit in there too. Like,
they
be forewarned. Like, there's some adult themes in this bitch.
It's adult themes and several types of trigger warning. I caught on something that was underlying in some of the earlier episodes, particularly like the scene that you're talking about with the kids that was already in the house, and when Asuko came in the house and talked to the daughter.
Bit her fucking ear. I'm just throwing this out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She gets
like it's good. This is good. But what I love about like not being afraid to draw them sexy, but not stereotypically so, but it's like, okay, if you're gonna capture a Brazilian, hey, let's go. And Michiko, you know, she just knew she was hot. I'm sorry, she knew she was hot. And I like the different play on Asuko and all that. So anyway, a lot of diversity in the cast.
What were you talking about the underlying theme of the first episode?
When you go in, just be forewarned about the trigger warnings. There was a particular scene when Asuko gets to the church where Hachin was taken by Michiko, and she was talking to the daughter that was abusing Hachin, the girl with the glasses.
Yeah. And
the girl just lifts up her dress, and she has very sexy panties on for a girl her age. Like, it's lace. And it kind of put me uncomfortable, like, oh, is there some other things going on here?
Yeah, that you might need to take all the children out the house.
Yeah, like, as opposed to that. Before Hachigen, I felt like Hachigen's mom, Michiko, came at a time before something happened to her that has already happened to the other girl. We'll get into that until another time, but again, it just go in with the mindset is this is heavy. It's not that like now. It has great comedy in it?
Yes, oh yeah.
It has its funny moments, but just don't go in thinking like, oh, the thing is just laugh right, ha ha ha.
No, there is some crazy shit in this bitch.
It is. A character that we had to both be reminded about, April from Darker Than Black, an anime I hadn't watched literally since mid 2000s. And I forgot all about April. So honest is April up, and
I want to talk about
April is dope. Go ahead.
I want to talk about how they made this black woman. She, just her character design. They could have went with braids. They could have went with the big fro. They could have went even the way Atsuko with the nice blonde in your face afro.
Yep.
They gave her, this might be the darkest skin color that I've
probably outside of, not since Claudia Grant.
Yeah.
That we pulled up earlier. Or Sister Crone.
No, Sister Crone is lighter.
Is she lighter?
I feel like
April.
She's lighter. Yep.
Let's get it, melanated queen.
So anyway, they said, okay, so first of all, Darker Than Black is literally, you've got some crazy shit happening, but you have things called contractors that to use a power, they have to satisfy the vice.
Yep.
Some is eating, some is drinking, some is smoking.
Some cigarettes.
So the more you use your power, the more you have to satisfy the vice. So if I use my power for 5 minutes, I need to drink or eat like 10 burgers. And that satisfies the vice. Her vice is beer, if I'm not mistaken. And she can control the weather. Nice. Almost kind of Storm-like.
Just like Storm, yeah.
Right. They could have made a whole Storm thing. They could have made her whatever. She's actually funny and pretty quiet, if I'm not mistaken. And she literally slithers through the dark doing backhanded things. But her vice is beer, and they gave her a blue pixie cut, a pink jacket and boa, and they said, we're going to frost your lips, baby. Not because it's stereotypical, but because it just looked good on you.
Because a bitch wants some frosted lips. What's wrong with that?
Oh, what if you don't do it? You die.
Yeah, Darker Than Black is an older anime. It's not that old, but please do
Watch
yourself a
it.
favor. Darker Than Black
Watch
is
it.
great. Yeah, that's a
Didn't
good one.
realize the season 2 came out like 3 years ago too. This is a 10-year-old anime,
Ooh.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I about to say it's old. Cause that's I remember when me and husband was watching it. That's when Netflix was still doing the physical DVDs to your house.
Yeah.
And we like had that season sent. Yeah, no, Darker Than Black was great. Um, so yeah, like Sid said, no, look at April. Behold, April. I ain't gonna talk about it. Look at him. Look at her. Like I said, they wasn't scared to put some color there,
They said, and
and
she
they wasn't scared
fabulous.
to. Bitch with a feather boa. Come on, man. Look at her
Right.
coat.
There
Check her
is nothing
game.
better.
Check her hair. You know, all the kids now that's like dyeing their hair all kinds of color. April said,
I
okay,
did it
been on
first.
that. Been on that.
Did
Okay.
it first. Did it
Uh,
first.
one of my favorite characters now I want to bring up is my next cosplay that I wanted to do, which is the beautiful and awesomely fabulous Canary from Hunter Hunter. Uh, she really doesn't need any introduction. She is one of the butlers and guardians to Kalua's families, who is a family of assassins in Hunter Hunter. And she was trained from a young age, and she is one of the butlers or the guardians of the gate. So she is like the first butler you run into when you
She's
open
literally
that big
Gandalf
ass
saying, "You
gate.
shall not pass."
Right. When Gon opened that big ass gate, she is who you get faced with. She kind of grew up with Clua.
I want to
That she
put
considers him now her friend. Yeah.
the original '90s version I put up here. Would she had red hair, same style.
You know what? I thought that was pretty cool. Now, do I like her other iterations? Yes, I actually like her
All
black hair
iterations of her are
iterations.
absolutely lit.
Yeah, but what I loved about that was come through not being afraid to talk about the kinky curly here.
It's drawn well.
Yes, it is complimentary. It doesn't. I know somebody might look at it like, oh, okay, here we go. But wait, no. I feel like no. Embrace that kinky curly hairstyle with a little bit of banding at the end, and you got the
Look at the
frayed
bounce.
there.
Look at the bounce.
That I'm about to say, come through. You thought Afro Samurai was the only one that had the flowing afro in the wind? Y'all better check Canary. And I love this woman, and I said I wanted to cosplay her again.
I will
Me in the
definitely be
early
your
stages
Killua
of
if you want to be Canary.
Yes,
I am definitely here for the Killua.
What I liked about her, she was extremely fast, and she will whoop your ass.
She taught the second main male protagonist, Killua,
yes,
arguably, how to do his shit.
Yeah,
she taught him. That's how badass we're talking about.
Dangerous woman here with fly ass hair and look good in her tailored tapered butler suit.
Oh, I got a fight scene for y'all.
I stand.
Get him, fuck him
Show
up.
it to me. Oh yeah, look at her.
Smooth criminal.
Bam. I love Canary. I love Canary. So yeah, she's on my list of hopefully I can pull her off. I know I locked my hair, so it's not like loose natural now, but I still feel like
there's a comparison for the 90s version versus today.
Oh, okay. Now, in looking at that, I feel like maybe her features were now I like the decision. I wonder why they made the decision to darken her to make it distinctively that she was a black girl, or I wonder what the decision was behind that.
He could have just very well got better at drawing hair.
No. Her skin tone. You can tell that.
Oh yeah,
her
they definitely
hair in the iteration. Yeah, was a little lighter.
I don't know what made the decision. I might have to Google some stuff.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily mad at it. I just want to know. Now, I ain't gonna lie though. She looked more like Sideshow Bob
in the first one.
Right, with the red hair, she literally looked more like Sideshow Bob in that. But I wonder if that was like an artistic choice, or we really wanted to say, oh well, no, I just wanted y'all to, that's the vision I had for her. So I kind of wanted her to be distinctively like that. Um, and you know, if it was no big deal, or it's like, okay, well, this is how I originally saw her. I didn't have to alter my character anymore after that. Um, or that was just what I wanted to do. I'm actually kind of curious.
I cannot find anything.
Because I never remember. I don't remember seeing the. I know they redid it
Mm-hmm.
by the time I started watching Hunter, but I wasn't aware of the first iteration with the red hair, fairer skin, that kind of thing like that.
Yeah. And maybe they just
Um,
wanted a solid ass black girl, you know?
that's and hey, I stand. Okay,
Here we
I
go.
stand. Kari, am I saying that right? I'm more than certain I botched it up. I apologize to anybody whose ears was accosted of my pronunciation of her name.
Karui, if I'm not mistaken.
Akimichi.
Akamichi, because
And her daughter,
Chow Chow.
Chojo. Chow Chow. Which basically hailed from an entire ninja village of Negroes. And I stand.
I stand for a ninja village full of Negroes.
I stand an entire village
Lord. I
of colored
I'm not
people.
gonna lie.
I love it.
I do not like the way Naruto handled the ethnic coloring of things.
But see, I'm glad you said that though, Honest, because it took me a long time to accept the fact that these were supposed to be black people and not somebody with a very deep tan. And I don't know, and I still don't know to this day. And y'all help me out in the chat. I don't know to this day if it was just that we as black people were still just trying to grasp at straws and just say we adopted these people as being black, or they were just a tribe full of deeply tanned whatever they were in the Naruto universe. I don't know if we just said, oh, anything darker than a paper bag, we'll take it. Because again, I don't go into animes looking for me.
Right.
It's just that if I happen to see me,
Cloud
then it's
Village,
like,
thank
oh,
you.
Yeah,
this is people from the Cloud Village.
right. And so help me out, somebody. Did we as a black collective, because I know we're not a monolith, but did we as a black collective just say the Cloud Village was a village full of black people, or were they legitimately supposed to originally be a village full of black people?
My only concerning thought about this is there is literally an island of tribed, Africans that have blonde hair.
Yes, that's true.
So
remember when people saw them, that legitimately they are blonde. That is their natural hair color.
Right.
So maybe he was basing it off of that. But then like Karui has red hair. Is she from the Whirlwind?
She still has is she? Theory, is she Naruto's aunt?
Oh my gosh.
No, y'all don't listen.
Let's talk about it.
Don't listen to me.
Right.
But the thing is, she does still have the same eyes as them, though. The yellow eyes.
She does. She does have the golden eyes.
Like I said, I also feel some type of way of how they're like, let's give the black girl the chubby guy because we're out of bitches to share. Like
I'm with you on that because again, of all the, because the thing is, because I done moved on to my water and I can't go to the kitchen and grab anymore.
Her brother is the blonde guy. Is that even
correct?
Her brother? Hold up.
I don't know. My thing is an island full of black men and you pick Choji. What kind of what he had going on? Okay, look. I ain't saying there's anything wrong with being your preference is whatever you. I just want to know what was going on down there.
Oh my god!
For her to say, out of an island of mandingos, this is what I want. I gotta have me some of that. Like all he said was turkey sandwich, and my panties fell off. I just want to know.
There is technically like a quote unquote fair skinned blonde, but things are passed down. I mean, you also have this broad too, who's got lighter hair and more, I guess, super feminine features.
But see, she's really. But see, again, which is telling of the artist, because again, they're still, and she's a part of the village, right?
Yeah, she's a part of the village too.
Which goes back to my question: did we, as a black? No. I'm not being not necessarily. I said what I said. Out of an island of Mandingos, you looked at Choji, was like, "Yep, that's
delicious.
that."
Unless
yep.
she just had a kink, and we need to be nice about
Treat me like a bag of chips, boo. Open me up.
Shut up.
Chomp. Nibble. All right. No king shame. We talked about this. No king shame.
Munch.
She said, I love the way you tend to the bag of chips, baby.
She said, munch. Oh, Lord, I'm all right.
No, seriously. So that's what that goes back to my first question. Did we, as a black collective, just say the cloud was just an island of black ninjas?
It was an island of black people with some mixed stuff in there, like most black families.
That's what's up. Well then, how come the Konoha village didn't have no mixture of black people living around in it? Why it had to just be cloud?
Fuck. You've got a great point.
We'll come back. So pull up my girl Chocho. Since we want to talk about procreating with Choji.
Disclaimer though, we hate Boruto. Okay.
Oh yeah. No, the only reason why Chocho is on this list is because we're pulling out, we're celebrating our black women and girls of anime. Boruto is not my jam. No. If it's your jam, that's great. But Chocho though, I stand a thick queen. I'm for it. She's loud. She's proud. She like to eat. She's a girl after my own heart.
This is more stereotypical though. She reminds me of stereotypical.
Yes. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you on that. Yeah. Because again, like we said, she loud.
Sassy sidekick of Sarada. And it bothers me to no end.
She is literally one script writer way of saying, "Ooh, girl, if it was me, girl, I would, girl.
I'd tell him something, girl. I bust ass, girl." Like, it's literally...
As a black woman, am I saying something wrong with that? No, but do we see that all the time with the magical Negro on your side? Yes, and that's the thing. We're tired of it, and she is literally one script write away from saying, "Ooh, girl." Because even she had an existential thing about, she was like, man, why I had to be the thick.
Yeah, like I think this was it right here. I'm trying to see if
and she wanted to like drop the weight right quick, like how her dad did, and just be like, why I can't,
I got issues with it. I got major issues with.
Yeah, because it's like when we do get the black girl.
If I didn't say that enough the first episode of this pod, I just got major issues with Naruto.
We have issues, and we want to hear it. We'll dive because it's on the list. With the whole Boruto.
I hate this. I hate her whole character.
And the fact that I feel like I have to do research when we do get to that and watch more episodes other than the ones that I watch.
Right.
Because I know it's not a deep dive and a synopsis. It's just enough to be like, this is why this grates my nerves. Yeah. But then again, I feel like maybe I watched enough. I don't have to subject myself to that. I don't want to.
I just feel some type of way. I really do about this whole character in general. I know she learned butterfly mode.
She did learn the butterfly mode, but she used it for the purpose of, I want to be skinny.
Right.
Not like what Choji did when it came down to, okay, well, this is my ace in the hole. And this mission that we're doing with the Sound Ninja 5, and I'm a 12-year-old going against some grown-ass ninjas. Let me pull this ace in the hole out my behind and let me go into butterfly mode. When it got to Choji's episode there, because I was still watching it then, it was, I don't want to be the thick black girl. Right. Let me go and bust out this butterfly mode right here so y'all can see this skinny me. So y'all can
they loved her even more.
Like how y'all... Right, like y'all can be up on me like how y'all are up on the other girls because I don't look like them. It was a whole
thing.
I felt like they added too many in a world of Tamaris. You gave us basic bitch with that. And I'm not calling the young girl that. It's just one of those young girl mentalities when we had a girl like Tamari who was young, who was, I ain't worried about no hair, I ain't worried about no makeup, I'm not worried about that. I'm here to whoop
I
your
came
ass.
here
Here
to
we
beat your
go,
ass.
though, Onyx.
What up?
At this point, who is your favorite black girl in anime?
If we're talking diversity
Yes.
in the role,
Okay.
I'm saying Sister Crone did a very good job.
Good choice. Good choice.
But if we're talking about aesthetically, it's gotta be Michiko from Michiko and Hatsune.
I can agree with that. If I had to put my favorite out there, I think hands down, simply because of come through hair, you know, it's giving, kinky curly, it's giving, all the kick ass things, and she was aesthetically pleasing to look at as a young fierce. I will have to go with Canary. Still one of my hands down, one of my favorites. Simply because I felt like, yeah, me too. Simply because I liked the way she was drawn, proportionate, and she still had, good black features there, the Afro features. And if we're talking about, like you said, if we're talking about diversity as a role, Sister Crone. Oh, that bitch is horrifying. And again, I appreciate the mix of the come through hair, Bantu knots. I love it. She was a hefty sister, but she she got up. I loved it. So if I had to pick one, yeah, hands down, Canary. I love that chick. Everything about her. So here's the next topic that we have here. What would we like to see going forward with our black animated girls or women in the future? Like, if the current trend is continuing, specifically with the success of anime like Carol and Tuesday, or Michiko and Hachin, where people are not scared to portray people of color. You're drawing them in a better light that covers their diversity, and things like that. And I would like to say that maybe a lot of American animation has aided in that. We saw Encanto, that gave you a diverse look of women of color or people of color. What would we like to see going forward for black girls and women in the future? Particularly the point that I made, in shoujo, or dare we say romance. Oh, yo, where's your sound?
Oh, I said you missed everything, Red. You're gone. Whew. Anyway,
yeah.
Before that, I have to accolade the sports anime because I just thought about this.
Okay.
Kuroko no Basketball and Haiku are sports animes, obviously based in Japan. But one thing that sports does all over the world is they will take from other countries to put on their team. And what Kuroko no Basketball does and what Haiku does is they show a very good version of the diversity coming from the different countries.
Okay.
And I want to see more of that too, where it's explained. They're here because, yes, they're hellified athletes. You should be afraid of them. And they're not seen as like their true nature is there. Like Run with the Wind. Run with the Wind is a beautiful anime that caught me off guard. It's 25 episodes. Great. You have an African male there who said, oh no, I'm here on scholarship. I have to keep my shit together. I am from Africa. And there was questions about it. It wasn't under the table. It wasn't, shh, that's a black man. He's not even black. He's African.
Or they're ignoring it.
Right, or they're ignoring
the background, so we're not going to acknowledge the fact that there's black man is in Japan.
Up front and center that I am a foreigner on scholarship. I have to keep my shit together. And I want more of that. Not more of that, but I appreciate these sports animes for that. because they
Okay.
don't beat around the bush of like, oh, we're just going to ignore that there's a 6'5" black foreigner on this
Right.
volleyball team. So I do want to, that's just my shout out. Like, good job,
Okay.
sports animes recently for doing that.
And that's a good one though, because you know, like you said, we don't really get in there
yeah,
with the ones I would like to personally because I think that one was on my list. The what was it? Faster than the Wind? Is that
Run
one?
with the Wind,
Is
yeah.
the one Run with the
It's
Wind? Yeah.
beautiful. Unexpectedly for a sports anime.
Right. I would like to see. I personally would like to see um I think Berserker is that be I don't know how to, Berserker. But I think personally I would like to see us in some romantic roles. Um
Yes.
like in some shojo or some romance.
Yes.
I again I made the point of saying us in leads, but I think we got a taste of that in Carol and Tuesday, and we got a taste of that in Michiko Tahachin. But I would like to see us in some just shojo soft, sought after characters,
Yeah.
not necessarily plagued by trauma. I think the same way where we have a lot of directors in the United States who are normalizing us as characters just in a movie, not necessarily black being the
Right.
pivotal thing that we are, of having to say, hey, I'm the black person, as opposed to no, this character just happens to be black. That's not the focus.
Yeah.
Like with Sister Krone that we were talking about, that scary woman, and who can be played by, essentially, we saw that in the live action, by
Yeah.
anyone, but it's like, wow, she isn't scary because she's black, she's scary because she's
Fucking
freaking
scary.
terrifying. Yeah. And I think that's awesome, but I would like to see, I honestly would want to see somebody be brave enough to make a beautiful love story, and the lead character happens to be a just like a soft, pretty, just cute black girl.
Right.
Um, that's my hope in the future.
I do want to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, with the braids and the oh yeah, she was hot though. I like her from Street Fighter.
We should have did more games. I want to talk about this.
We should have done more games.
When I showed my older brother,
yes,
he was like, "Oh, she looks like your basic Oakland black girl," and I was like, "I'm from Oakland."
You know what? Wow.
Wow.
No offense to anybody from Oakland, California. We apologize.
I am from Oakland, California. That's why I was like, "Thanks, Kevin."
Why she's always on the beach?
Yeah.
I stand a queen that's always on the beach. I'm okay with that. Look at her though. She look like she about her business though.
Oh yeah. And then like black and white characters. I feel like Pokemon is also just like, hey, let's go ahead and just diversify things. You need some more gym leaders and their aesthetics? Here you go.
Right. I'm okay with that, because I think Pokemon is one of those games where you have to realize there's so many different kids from so many different backgrounds that play Pokemon. You gotta start putting kids in there that look like them.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I think you were on the phone with me too when I first started playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I was screeching because your rival was black, his parents were black, his brother who was the champion was black, and it was the
everybody
second, third
except for that wooloo-haired bastard.
That wooloo-haired bastard. And I'm just saying, the diversity in Pokemon Sword and Shield that came out was, as much as I hate certain aspects of the game, I want to talk about it one day.
Okay.
The diversity there was beautiful. For it being English based, because they were basing it off of like London and shit, like the countryside. Right. It was great. Like, y'all have to understand, like, I've been playing Pokemon since it came out. I used to pretend that I was a freaking gym leader in my apartment complex. Like, that's how hardcore I was.
Live in a Pokemon world.
Right. I was there for all of Pokemon hype. That was me. That is all me. So to sit there and be like, we went from all of first season of Pokemon, I don't think there was a black, besides Brock. I think, and then he was
Yeah,
literally
besides
had a
Brock,
house full
and
of kids, so,
yeah, he
and he
did have
was
a
a
house full of
lusty,
kids.
lusty
I'm not
man.
real sure what was going on with that, but
So that's all
it
we
was what it
had.
was. Right.
So coming from a lusty man with a house full of kids, which don't mix in general, they weren't his, but anyway,
Yeah.
it bothered me. And then here we are, where you can customize your character. My character looks like
You
me with pink hair
can.
and very
Yeah,
void
you
eyes
can.
like this.
They're always deadpan. My only thing is, I know they've gotten better,
Mm-hmm.
but and again, maybe beating a dead horse, but just give me a little bit more diversity with
Oh
the
yeah.
hair. And then I'll be completely okay.
I mean,
Because
I'm
again,
not gonna
the
lie. Look at this
characters with the
though.
little locks,
But
though,
look at
they
him.
always be like right there, and then you get like these 5 little locks sitting here or like right there, and then you don't get anything. Um,
He was simping
yeah,
for every
I
girl.
mean, he's a little brown.
What you
He
mean? Look
was
at her.
simping. Are we saying okay? But Spider, who's simping? Brock, because Brock
Brock. It's
was,
Brock.
yeah, Brock was a certified thought. He was out there for everybody. All right. Oh, now here's a bit of great news that I thought there a little while ago. Twin brothers Artel and Barnell Isam,
From where?
who got with Henry Thurlow, created Dart Shitaijo, the first major owned black anime studio in Japan. I was super excited when I came across that, because I feel like that is breaking the glass ceiling for seeing what we would like to see.
Right.
And I want to keep up with their studios because I want to know what comes out, because it's not just black people making anime, but no, we have an entire studio.
Yup.
And
It's lit.
right, and into seeing the characters, the stories that we would like to see, the characters we resonate. So maybe my hope of getting a diverse story, like some shoujo in there, maybe breaking that ceiling of getting one of, like, becoming one of the major 3. I would like to see it from their studio. I didn't have a chance to really see if they've produced anything yet.
They have. I'm on the website right now. Give me a second. They've done
Great.
commercials.
Ooh, do they have one we can run?
I'm
or
trying to
just
see.
At least look at the artwork. I'm super excited.
Oh, we're here for the artwork. Look at this.
Yeah. Hit me.
Look at this man's nose.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And again, coming from Dart Studio, black owned anime studio in Japan. Check them out. Just check the art style. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it takes us to show the diversity of us so that other people can get it.
Yes. Agreed with that.
And I love that. All right then, peeps. It's been fun on this Friday. Enjoy the rest of your night.